break, right?
Yep.
Yes, when worlds break, and we're gonna be talking. I'm gonna start off with talking to you guys about how the United States just attacked Iran with the help of Israel, and we took down their supreme leader. But we're not going to talk about politics today. We're going to compare this to men's work in the sense that sometimes you have to tear it down completely to rebuild it the right way. Things have been
Right.
built up and they've been changed, but habits die hard and old patterns don't go away. So sometimes things have to be torn down all the way to the foundation to be rebuilt. It's kind
Sure.
of like what we're told is happening over in Iran. Whether it's true or not, we'll find out. But let's get into the men's work side. All right, AJ started off with pressure, and you are reconnecting. What's going on? You right?
Hey, put your face on the phone. Oh, what just
Me?
happened? Yeah,
Huh?
I was just sharing our live, and it disappeared.
Whatever. All good. And Joel's in. What is going on, Joel? How are you doing,
How
brother?
you doing, Joel? I'm sorry. So ask me the question again. I was trying to make sure our podcast
Let's
was
get
shared.
let's get into it with pressure. Since pressure is really what seems to have started this whole conflict over there, let's talk
Yeah.
about pressure with men. Um,
So pressure, pressure with men is really your foundation. Um, having having extreme pressure like this, like the conflicts that are going on in the world, is the same thing with men, right? If we don't have a solid foundation, things crumble. Everything breaks around us, and our foundation is what everything is built off of. And it's unfortunately the same thing with what's going on in Iran. They, they didn't really have the foundation to stick by what they were trying to accomplish. And it's very unfortunate, just like when a man ends up in that situation too, whether it's a divorce, whether it's difficult times in life, a hard season, loss of a loved one, um, any number of things that cause extreme pressure. It starts to cause cracks in a foundation. It starts
mhm.
to break a man down, which is also the idea of the brotherhood. Sometimes we get men in, um, and that pressure has been so intense. If they haven't already been completely broke by their significant other, it kind of comes to a place where we almost have to finish breaking it.
And
We've
how
got
do
to
we do
break
that?
them. Oh, we break them down by kind of starting them from scratch. So they have to start by learning values, how to stand on those values so that they can build a foundation built off of a healthy masculine foundation, or as we would say, as a healthy biblical foundation, with healthy biblical masculinity. So, but most men, once they've gone through that point and they've had all that pressure put on them in a consistent nature, they kind of already are cracked. They've kind of already been broken.
Okay.
And it's unfortunate, but it's also, I'm going to kind of take it back. I have a habit of saying that it's important to break a man down just the same so that you can build them back up, but you're not building them back up, because the unfortunate truth is if they were built with a real foundation to begin with, then their foundation wouldn't have crumbled. They wouldn't have broke under pressure. They wouldn't have cracked under fire.
Hmm. Okay.
So,
I
what are
get
your
that.
thoughts on that? What are your
Well, my
thoughts?
thoughts are that usually something like loss of a job or a divorce that will break a man, but it's like a temporary break. It's if it's a
Yep.
relationship, it's the other person's fault. If it's a job, it's the boss's fault. It's
It's the
never
accountability.
my fault.
Yep.
Um, so it comes down to an accountability issue, I think.
Yep.
And but
100%.
once they're broken to that point, if they manage to find a men's group like what we have,
Right.
then it takes the coaches or even the other members of the group to question them and break them a little bit further to the point where they and I when I say broken further, I don't mean hurt or kick them while they're down. I mean help them realize the accountability and
Right.
what they need to hold themselves to. And that's so part of the pressure. I feel like it's like when there's a rat or a mouse or whatever or something an animal is in a corner and it's got nowhere to
Yep.
go.
It's
It's got
backed
two
into the
choices.
corner.
It can
Yep.
die or it can fight.
Right.
Um, so when we put a man in that spot where he has come to the group because oh, my arms keep falling off of here, where he has come to the group, but he has not realized his own faults. And when we question him about some things, just to help him think, and once again, it's not about interrogation; it's about just helping him see things differently. And he gets to that point where he says, "Oh my God, I have two choices right now. I can accept accountability for what I have done or my part in the action, or I can continue to play the blame game."
Yeah. And then the integrity falls into place. It's like those beginning stages of actually building. There's so many things that I think that men don't know and they don't understand, unfortunately, until they do get broken down. Like months ago, we had done a podcast on the four relationships, right?
Yep.
There's this relationship with God, the relationship with yourself, the relationship with your family, the relationship with the brotherhood. And for anybody that's new that's watching, when I say brotherhood, I don't mean your buddies that you grew up with. I don't mean the guys you go out drinking with. I definitely don't mean the guys that have your back to tell you that you're right and she's wrong, or you know you're right, the kids don't listen. That's not what I mean. I mean a brotherhood like we have, where men actually work and build shoulder to shoulder and build brick by brick together, piece by piece, and it never stops. It's a repetitive thing that we do. It's discipline. You learn that discipline to continue to learn, but for some reason, it takes men the need to be broken to realize that they never had a foundation to begin with.
I mean, well, there is a foundation. It's just not well built or laid, whatever you want to call
You
it.
got a foundation missing your rebar.
Sh- CU Shuffler says, "What's up, fellas?" And Joel said, "Yeah, sometimes things be I missed the whole thing, but torn down to the studs." And back to the rebuild that we were talking about. Like I tell men that when they are going through a divorce, and this is not my line. I got it from another coach, the guy that coached me. Is there's a bridge that you build, and that's like your foundation. And when you're in this relationship, this marriage or whatever, you are walking across the bridge with her. And if the bridge is unstable, like picture one of those like you're hiking and it's going from like mountain to mountain, so it's like wobbly.
Yeah,
It's got the ropes and the wood slats.
yeah,
If the wood slat pops out, one of them, it's all right. It's not going to break. It's wobbly, whatever. But as the rope starts fraying, and you can't fix that. You can't go out there with a new slat
yeah.
or a new piece of
You
rope.
can't.
Like you have to, as that rope frays and that relationship dies, or well, it can either die or it can be rebuilt, but it can't be
Right.
repaired. Like that bridge cannot be repaired. You have to rebuild a whole new bridge.
I can explain it fast on like a real deep note, right? Of a foundation. If a foundation is built correctly, or when a foundation is built correctly, as time goes by, the
Hmm.
foundation actually gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So, but if it's built correctly. If you
Hmm.
leave anything out, if you, like you said, if you leave a slat out, if you leave rebar out, if you don't, you don't mix your concrete well enough, regardless of what it is, if you don't build that foundation the way it's supposed to, it will crack, and over time, it will fall apart, it will break down. But if it's built correctly, it gets stronger and stronger year by year. Same
Hmm.
thing with men. Once you build a real foundation and you continue to put that work in, to me, it's like in the beginning, you build that foundation, right? And you work your rear end off to build that foundation correctly. to build it in a healthy way, to build that with your higher power, right? You actually have something to stand on for the first time in your life that doesn't have faults, that doesn't have cracks. And then you build that house.
I love that.
When you build a house, you might make it 10 years, but at some point, you got to start repairing things.
Hmm.
Same idea with men, only you don't get to wait 10 years. You got to keep doing the work. You got to stay consistent in the work that you do. But it
Some,
is really the same thing.
sometimes it takes 40 years before you got to start doing the work.
Yeah, well,
I went 40 years before I
we
realized that
hope.
I needed to do the work.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Right. And I mean, and I did too. I
mhm.
thought that I had a strong foundation. I did, especially after my first divorce, everything I went through. I thought that my foundation was very strong, and the only thing that I had to do to keep it that way was not date. As long as I didn't date anyone, I was going to stay strong, secure, and I was going to be good to go. But that
that's
wasn't the truth.
that's interesting actually because that's part of the next topic or part of this whole thing. By not dating and staying alone, that's isolation. You know.
Absolutely.
But back to the work real
Absolutely.
quick before I don't know if you have anything more to add to that, but in the group that we have a gentleman who's 22 years old, I think he is,
Yep.
and he's already doing the work.
Yeah.
He's the youngest guy in the group, and I look at him and I wonder what would have happened to me or any of the guys in the group, of the guys, if they had started doing the work. And I would say the work because it depends on who you are and what you're doing it for. Um, but started that inner work at that age. Like I can
Imagine.
only imagine the man he's going to be when he's our age. It's going to be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It's unbelievable to think of. Like, I mean, we have talked about this so many times on the podcast. What it would actually look like if we could take the knowledge that we have now and the work that we've put in now and bring it back with us, bring it back in time. I would still want to be me. I wouldn't want to change anything in my life. I'd want to stick with what my life was. But if I could take that knowledge back,
Hmm. But
imagine the life that you'd have.
if you took the knowledge back, though, you would definitely change things because there are things that
Yeah, I
I've
guess
done.
you're right.
If I was a little smarter, I definitely would not have done
Yeah,
them. But
that
it
is
is what it
true.
is. I'm glad
Mm,
that in the group that we have, it's a school group by the way, but I'm not plugging anything yet. But we have a wide variety of men. You know, youngest being 22, oldest into the 50s or 60s. I'm not even sure.
yeah,
But
in
yeah,
the 60s.
there's
Um,
a whole world of people that are
yep,
just eager to learn and to help themselves and to help their
yeah,
brothers. Shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick.
yeah.
It's an incredible community. It really it warms my soul. But we're not plugging that. So stop it, Gary.
No,
So
it's true though.
other than
It's such a beautiful
isolation,
thing.
what would you say shakes a man that would cause his foundation to start to crumble or expose things that he doesn't want to see?
Oh, I mean, you can have a lot of different things that create depression. Um, and I was actually writing about it earlier, and I wish I had brought my book in here with me, but I'm
King
so
Boom.
I'm so unscripted with everything I do. I like to
Good.
just go from the heart with everything. So I'm not even mad that I didn't bring it in, but um anything that creates depression and desperation. It could be financial issues, it could be going through a divorce, it could be just going through a breakup, it could be a loss of a job, it could be a loss of a parent. There's so many different reasons that shake a man.
Yeah. So
So many different.
so Joe just said he'll plug it. Hey guys, go to school.
Right.
But
That's it.
Joel also just said that life is a lesson and you got to learn.
That's right.
And it's funny because I feel like life is a lesson that you have to learn. But
That's right.
life is so special that it actually, or at least I feel like in my life, you can call it my life, you call it God, call it whatever you want. But if there's a lesson being taught and I'm not learning it, if I'm not ready to learn that lesson, I will be taught that lesson again and
Yeah.
again and again. It's like
until you
repeating the
get it.
5th grade or something. It's terrible.
That's it.
Eventually you're like, "Oh, I get it. I get it."
Well,
You fix it, you move
sometimes,
on, and
yeah, sometimes we're just not paying attention.
mhm,
You know,
sure.
sometimes things just they do just float by us and we don't realize it. Other times we're afraid of it. Sometimes things are just they're scary. They're
Mhm,
fearful. You know, one thing that I can say when it came to starting my work, my men's work going back years ago, my biggest thing was now I have these values, right? How do I how do I use these values with other people, like in a relationship or with my children, especially places where I didn't have these values, right? How do I
mhm.
use it now and stand by them? I got afraid. I was afraid of how were they going to act? What were they going to say about the new version of me? And was I going to be strong enough to stick to my values, or was I still shakable? Could I still fall apart? It's just another one of the reasons that shake men up is fear.
So we have a bunch of comments in the,
In
Riverside chat
which,
that I did not see until right now.
oh, I can't either
I'm
because
so
I
terrible.
tried to actually place my phone so that the phone was about the same area as the computer. So I
Gotcha.
can barely even see your face.
Oh,
I definitely cannot see the comments.
okay. Well, Sort of Life said, yes, it's a great community. Sean said, not communication with people on how they feel. Communication will always be key. If you don't tell people how you feel, if whether it's a friend or your wife, sometimes a stranger. So yeah, you got to talk. You can't keep it bottled up.
Yeah.
Um, but back to what you're saying with the values, it's funny that you say that because when I first uh, came up with the Oak values, I told everybody it was like 100 values I came up with on index cards, and I picked out the 20 that meant the most to me and narrowed it down to 10. And I thought that was good, but 10 was still too many. Um,
Yeah.
but I remember trying to say that are what's important to me right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was afraid, just like you said, but how will people judge me or how will they react
Yeah.
to me having these values?
Yeah.
And I learned like it's a lot like going to the gym. And you're afraid of how you're going to work out, afraid of if you're doing it wrong, what people are going to say.
Yep.
Nobody's looking. Nobody cares. These values are
Yep.
your values.
That's
Um,
it.
Live by them. Nobody really cares. If you had those values yesterday and you didn't have them yesterday and you have them today, nobody cares.
No.
So
No. But we get afraid of it. We do. We get so afraid. Like, you know, eh, fear is those bubbles and cracks in your
mhm,
foundation because your foundation was never fully secure.
yep. But that and though that the things that shake you are it is fear is one of them. Trying to control all the outcomes, your
Absolutely.
ego, uh,
Ego's
anger, and that's one
huge.
thing I had a huge issue with. That I've definitely overcome. I and it's crazy because my even to this day, my daughter still, when she does something wrong, she's so afraid that I'm gonna yell.
And
And then I
she'll leave
remind
you
him like,
for it.
when is the last time that I've yelled? And she's like,
So
well,
give me,
you never yell.
sorry, give me a good example or tell our listeners when you get angry, how do you today, as a strong, healthy masculine man with values, how do you manage when something hits you or your daughter, ex-wife, something that's just pushes those buttons and hits those triggers? How do you handle your anger?
Well, a few ways. The first thing, it's not really anger if you take it in slowly. So if it's the ex-wife, if it's the daughter, um, even if it's you, I take it just as that. It's not me. It's you right now that's causing a problem with me, or it's my ex-wife that's causing a problem with me, or my daughter. It's I'm not angry. It's just there's a misfire, if you will, of
Yep.
communication or understanding. Then I try to look at it more, and I'm like, okay, so if it's my daughter or my ex-wife is mad, let's just my ex-wife is the easiest one to go with. So let's say she's mad about whatever, something I did with my daughter or something I didn't do or didn't follow up on. I think about it, and chances are she is in an argument with my daughter or she is in an argument with her boyfriend, and I could be the easiest thing or person to take it out on. And then I just have to
Target.
understand. And I say, okay,
Yep.
I understand you're frustrated.
Yep.
And then if it's still bothering me, say it's the ex-wife, then I'll call you. Or I'll
Yep.
talk to one of the guys in the group and be like, this is what's going on.
Yep.
And then I get talked off the ledge. And even still, I still bring it to the guys sometimes, even though I know that it's her. Um,
Yep.
and sometimes it is me. And that's when you guys will call me out and say, well, maybe you should have called the doctor and followed up on that. Or maybe you should have held her hand crossing the street or whatever. And I'm like, yeah,
Yep.
you're right. I could have shown up. I could have been more accountable. I could have done the right thing. I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. But,
Yeah.
and there's no point after that in beating yourself up.
No.
What's done is done. You can't reverse the past. You can't fix the future. You can only live right now. But so if you learn from what you've done wrong or did incomplete or whatever, that is where you start to grow.
See, I absolutely agree. I see it as the situations that come into my life that would cause the old me to get angry. Um, like you said, they're not me. It's not my problem. It's not something that I did. It's somebody else's problem. It's somebody else's issue. And why should I allow anybody in the world to affect me in a negative way? That's me allowing somebody else's words to control my life, my actions, the way that I handle things, the way that I move forward. Like I allow somebody else to make me look like a fool, more or less. And it's just the worst thing that I think we were just never taught. We never
Right.
taught how to handle those situations. But you know, I think about it all the time. There are a lot of guys out there that are in situations like me, that were blue collar men. They had that real crappy masculinity to them. Everything was, "Wah," everything was just that. That was the masculinity. And we worked hard and we paid the bills and that's all that mattered. We were unshakable men. We were built on the strongest foundations. You know, Now I didn't just lose my job or lose my wife. I lost my arm, and I ended up with the situations with going through with PTSD, all of those things. But my man's work and my brotherhood taught me something years ago. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are in life. It doesn't matter what your situations are, how bad things, could have gone. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter what you go through on a daily basis. It doesn't matter if you're still fighting through a divorce or if you're somebody like me and you have lost a limb or been in a bad accident. The way that you react in life has nothing to do with those situations. If you build yourself, you become unshakable.
Mhm.
And those things don't control the way that I react anymore. I'm not going to react and allow another person to break me, just like the situation that's going on with our world right now, and
Right.
all this tension, right? God,
So
shoot.
real quick, I want to before I can't read it anymore. Joel says there is a legit reason for anger or frustration. It's about awareness and control. It's
Mhm.
also about response versus reacting.
That's
Yeah,
right.
anybody can make me angry, but it's when you stop, breathe, take it in, and realize what it is that's making you angry. It's not usually the person that's making you angry. It's an action, whatever they did, that's triggering something that you believe or something that happened to you in the past. And you have to say, okay, this is what's going on. This is why I feel this way, and figure it out. But
That's right.
Before I could do any of that, I got angry. I would yell. I would break things. I would. It was never a good thing. So,
Yep. Well, it's just
um,
like defensiveness, right? If we're being defensive as men, we're being defensive because somewhere deep down inside, we know that whatever was said is the truth.
yep.
It's not, we're not being defensive because what's being said is bullcrap. We're defensive because there's truth to it.
And Joel's got a lot to say. I love it tonight. So he also says that.
I wish I could see his comments. It's
So
killing
good.
me that I
I can
can't.
I can read good. I went to school.
No, good.
I'm
Well,
just kidding.
hey,
I'm kidding. I can't read that good. But
we're gonna have to put your high school diploma up there
yeah, yeah,
beside all the little ones' pictures.
yeah. Well, I also have my
Should
coaching.
have your coaching
I
license
do.
back there
I
too.
do. It's back there. You
No,
can't see it.
I don't see your coaching license. I just see the. Oh yeah, the microphone's blocking that.
There you go.
Look at
Official.
that. Yeah, see.
Anyway, but
Look
like
at that.
Mr. Duffler said, it's about the school of hard knocks. That certificate doesn't mean anything really. Um,
That's right. It doesn't. Life lessons.
um, but yeah, back to what Joel says. He says, right, we give others so much power, and that's the problem right there. When we start letting them live up here rent free,
100%.
that's our problem. That's not their problem. That's where they
right.
want to be. They want to be rent free. They don't want to pay a
That's
mortgage.
right.
They want to be a squatter
That's
right up here in
right.
your head. And when you let them, that's when it gets bad. And he finds himself reacting, stopping himself, breathing in, and dealing. Yes. So you want to once you catch yourself
I
reacting,
like that.
you want to stop, you want to breathe, and then you want to respond instead of react
I like that, Joel.
or
Joel
deal.
really
Whichever
does have a lot.
he does. I love it. But dealing the right way, in my opinion, is responding.
Yeah,
All right.
100%.
The last two things I have for what shakes a man is, and it's the last two things that I learned before I became the man I am, which would be withdrawal and isolation. Um, I withdrew from everything. Uh, in some of my darkest times, I isolated. I drank a little bit too much, but I learned pretty quickly, thank God, that I needed to reach out, that I needed to find a group of brothers. So, and that's all we have for what shakes a man. So now,
Yeah, I
we're
want
gonna
to.
start-
I want to
what
just
do we
add
got?
one thing in. Sorry, brother. So I wanted to read something from the Bible, if you don't
Go for
mind.
it. Yeah, please.
It's about a shakeable or an unstable man. It's described in James 1:6-8. So which warns that a double-minded man is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind, unstable in all his ways. The contrast with the unshakable faith or the unshakable kingdom found in Hebrews 12:28 as well continues to go on. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but there's so much on it. Like I could go for days, but it's just like your kingdom. And I love that. I love that in the Bible it talks about an unshakable man versus shakable man, and talks about how the kingdom at the same time they put them both together. Therefore, since we are receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken, let us be thankful and so worship God acceptably in reverence and awe as we are not shaken either. Like that is such a beautiful thing that no matter what, I can find myself with that information and put it to so many different contexts of life. It's just okay, I'll let you move on.
No, you're
Let's
good.
uh
I just think it's funny. You keep
let's
looking down, or like you're looking. Can you
oh,
see?
did it look like that?
No, no, not just a
Yeah.
minute. You were like, I don't know, weird, like looking. You couldn't see something.
Oh, I hate to say it. I don't
Yeah.
want to admit it, but I think it's time for reading
Oh,
classes.
there you go. There you go. Well,
Yeah,
there's
I think
no
it's
shame
time
in
for
that.
reading glasses. Unfortunately, sure there is. Uh,
Andrew just joined. So what's up, Andrew? And so did Relic.
how you doing,
We got a
Andrew?
few
How you
people
doing,
joining
Relic?
here.
Welcome to the Oak Values podcast. So
Amber's here.
I'm gonna throw some stuff out. So guys, check out northmancoaching.com. Gary built a company years and years ago. It is a life coach company.
Years.
He does one-on-one coaching. He does have a couple of slots available.
One slot left.
He does one slot left. He has a 60-minute free coaching call where you get to know Gary, get to talk to Gary. If Gary can help you in that 60 minutes, then God bless. I'm happy that he can. But if you are in your first 30 days of divorce, there is also a free ebook on there that you can download. Those first 30 days may determine whether or not there's a possibility of saving your marriage. But even if there isn't, uh, read through that book. It'll help you save yourself, because the decisions that you make over the next 30 days while you're going through this, they're going to shape a lot of who you're going to be for many years to come. And at this point, it's time to start working on you and taking care of you. And if you make some of the wrong mistakes, like some of us have, you're not going to come back from a long time. So go to northmancoaching.com, download that free ebook for the first 30 days. Um, we've also built a school. That's SKOOL. It's a brotherhood platform for men to come. We have 4 meetings a week. We have our motivated men's group on Thursdays. It sometimes goes an hour, hour and a half. Sometimes we hit 2 hours. Depends on how many men are in there, how many men want to share. That group changed me as a man. That group made me a biblically masculine man, a healthy masculine man. It shaped me, and it has shaped so many other men. And there's been such amazing progress. It's 84 cents a day to join the school. If you pay the annual, it's 54 cents a day. Like I said, we have 4 groups with the motivated men. So we have a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday check in. Monday is our perspectives meeting. It's kind of your goals for the week, where you're going, your direction. Wednesday, we go in, we discuss your application, kind of where you're at in the week, and then your bridge to bridge over to try to make sure that you accomplish your goals for the rest of the week, stay on track, maybe add some new things in. And then Friday, we have our RAG meeting, which is reflections, accountability, and gratitude. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that, guys. Uh, Gary has built several programs, one of which is getting added in a couple of weeks, is another
Still in
program for
testing phase.
men. Yeah, still in its testing phase, but he's built another. Well, what do you
Matthew
call
says
that?
50 years of experience. I don't know what
Yeah,
that's about.
what do you call that? It's not a group. It's
What are you talking about?
the Sundays class, Sunday class that we had today,
Well, I
the
mean, don't talk about
testing
that too
class.
much. It's a group coaching class, but it hasn't
No, coaching class. So that's what I was just
still in the
saying.
works.
Gary's in the
We're still
works
working things
of
out.
yeah. Well,
It's in a
that's what
dry
my
run
point
as we
was.
speak.
Yeah, Gary's in a dry run series. He's adding all kinds of stuff into this school.
Joel says
If
guinea pig.
you're
You got it right.
getting
That's for
pigs,
sure.
that's right, brother. Um, if you're going through a tough time in life, whether it's a divorce, whether it's problems with your children, you've lost a job, you've been in an accident like me and lost your arm, your job, and your wife, this is the place to be. This is a real community, a real brotherhood, and you really have guys that are really there with you to walk shoulder to shoulder throughout everything that's going on. And you have life coaches there to build with you brick by brick. You will not find that with any of the guy friends that you have out in the world. Trust and believe. I
What's
always
up,
thought that I
Kratz?
had some of the best friends in the world, some of the best brothers in the world, and that was far from the case. They were there to help me make sure I finished, the bottle of whiskey, or maybe made some other bad choices.
I can
They
finish that for
weren't
you.
there to, thanks, Gary. They weren't there to walk shoulder to shoulder with me. They weren't there for me consistently. And just telling you, you spend how many dollars a day, guys, just on your Dunkin' Donuts alone, or on your Starbucks, or whatever it is that you drink, your
Someone down
snacks
south might
during
be
the
spelled with
day,
K or
anything else.
something.
84 cents a day is nothing. Like I said, if you do the annual, it's 54 cents a day. It's like 26 bucks a month. It's
And
so
that
worth
that
it. But
that price
yeah.
is only good for the year of 2026. So as things get built, there's gonna be a lot more things going on in there. So that $26 is gonna go very far. It's gonna be very, very, very valuable. It's only going up in value. But the price is also going to go up in 2027. And it's not
Right.
gonna go 27 cents a day. But
And it's not going to go up for the guys that are already in
no,
there.
no.
And
If
that's the
you're in, you're in,
important
you're
thing.
good.
You may think, oh, well, you know what does it matter? If I'm in there this year, why do I got to be in it next year? I promise you, once you're in a real brotherhood like this, you're not going nowhere because it becomes a way of life. It becomes a way of building yourself and repeating the work that you do and always continuing to put new work into yourself.
Yes,
It's so
Mister
worth
Shuffler
it.
says $0 a day on that crap, but this group is worth it. I appreciate you, brother.
Thanks, brother. Yeah,
Um,
if you are looking for a real motivated coach that does a lot of work in the gyms, you can visit CE Shuffler. He is
mhm.
an amazing life coach as well. He does a lot of coaching. Um, sorry, a lot of podcasts. I'm sorry, lives.
Live on
Geez, I'm
TikTok.
sorry. He does a lot of lives throughout the week. He's always talking with people in his lives. He goes on for an hour or so at a time. He communicates with everybody. You can check him out as well. Or if you're looking for another great podcast, go to
Wow, I'm just gonna go to
sessions
sleep over
and
here.
lessons. Yeah, thanks. At all major platforms, it's a husband and wife couple. They are a dynamic duo. Yeah, and there is Sid Glass, and the wife in the podcast has also started her own podcast as well
I think she has a
called
name.
Glowing Off Script, and her name
The
is
wife.
Glow. The wife. Well, I mean, I said the husband and wife, so I was gonna pop it up, and I kind of figured I was introducing her when I said glowing. But anyways, yes, her name is Glow. They really are a dynamic duo. I love listening
For
to the
sure.
two of them. Um, I'm not sure what needs to put them in other than if you really want something to enjoy and an awesome couple or a couple to look at and say, man, I'd love to have a relationship like that, then go on and listen to sessions and lessons. So,
Shuffler
are
says,
you,
yes,
you
time to
looking
get
for the,
back after the live. So Shuffler took us a
yeah,
little break off. He's got a lot of work going on, and I know he's getting
yeah,
burnt out. But when he's ready to get
gotcha.
back, I'm telling you, his
Nice.
lives are good. And to him getting back after it, all I can say is end, because that's one thing he says all the time. So you come up with a reason on something, end.
Yep.
There's always more
And
to it.
sure.
So um, I want
Yeah.
to say that I had the honor last week of being on Glow's podcast as a special guest, and that was an awesome experience. She is a wonderful, wonderful human being. She tried to pull some dirt out of me on other people, which was interesting, but
Oh,
we had a
that's
good time.
great.
It was fun. And I think she's going to invite me back on, is what I heard, um, to talk about toxic masculinity. I'm looking forward to that one. Um, yeah.
What
So
is she
that's
having you back on? But
for
toxic
toxic
masculinity?
masculinity is what
Oh, I
maybe,
love it.
maybe, and I'm only saying that right now on this show because I want to hold her accountable for what she said. I don't
Yeah.
want her falling away from that.
Hey, I would
Yes.
love to hear that.
So that should be a good one, I think.
Huh?
Adam Blakely just joined. What's up, Adam? How are you, brother?
How you doing, Adam? Oh, hey, Kratz is in the house. How you doing, Kratz?
Yes, Kratz is in the house. You on your side
Yeah,
now?
Dublin. Yeah, I got Kratz, Dublin. I have a.
All right, stop bragging.
Hey,
All
listen,
right,
I have had nobody on my side. Everybody knows your side. They don't know mine, so
whatever,
nobody's bragging.
whatever. All
Let's
right,
get
time for the
back
second
on
half. We
script,
can wrap up a
brother.
little earlier. I know you got some grandkids
Let's do it.
over there that you probably should be
That's
spending time
right.
with.
That's it.
So we talked about the tension over in the Middle East and how that relates to rebuilding a man. We've talked about the pressure and what that does. We talked about what shakes a man. Now let's talk about what is it that helps keep a man steady. Go
Okay.
for it. You know, you just did all the
Well,
plugs.
yeah, I mean, so far as keeping myself steady, I make sure I'm in all my men's groups. I pray every day. My foundation is definitely built on faith. It's built off God, 100%. But yeah, I show up for all the men's groups in the brotherhood. They're everything to me. I put in all the work that we go over throughout the week, anything that we discuss. I constantly read the Bible and I constantly practice what I preach. That's the biggest thing. I love to take my pain in my suffering and the things that I've been through in life and help another man that's going through a struggle, because there's nothing better to me than being able to help another man, especially when I'm doing it in Jesus' name.
Love it.
I'm doing my work. So that's how I consistently stay on track every day and don't fall off. And I speak to my life coach every day. And how you doing, Gary? How do you stay on your stuff, big?
Um,
How do you do it, big guy?
I've just kept my fingers crossed that no. um, just similar to you, rooted in faith. I read the Bible every single day. I just joined a Bible
That's
study group. Um, Hands down, the brotherhood. I'm not even sure which does more for me, the brotherhood or the Bible. Maybe it's like a 1-2 combo. Um, I'm telling you, this brotherhood is seriously incredible. I love it. It's funny, is I almost don't even want to talk about it much because the people that are in it, we're so tight and we are growing together. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
It is.
the
There's
group we
no
have is perfect right now.
yeah, there's no shorter way of saying it. There's nothing. There's not outside of my family and God. There's nothing more important to me. I would never choose to change the brotherhood and the time that I spend in the brotherhood to do
Hmm.
anything, no matter
Yeah,
what it was. I wouldn't give up that time for anything in the world.
it's actually crazy because when we first started the brotherhood in school, well, it started with just the men's group on Thursday nights, and then when school
Yep.
started, we made the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they're only 30-minute for the most part. They run a little over sometimes check-ins,
Yep.
and I was in my head, I'm like, man, that's a lot. That's a pretty big commitment. It's almost every day of the week.
That's great.
Um, I look forward to it every day, and we're like what 2 months in, or yeah, about 2 months, right?
Yeah.
Every single Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I am looking forward to not only talking about my wins and my struggles and my
Yep.
gratitude, my perspective,
Yep.
but I'm looking forward to hearing what everybody else is. It's exciting.
It's a great feeling to hear other men succeeding in the
Absolutely.
areas that you've had to work so hard to succeed in. It's a great feeling to be able to give them advice and help them see the tools that they do actually have, but how to use them, how to actually, build with those tools. What do you
Right.
got?
uh, Joel saying again, it's the highlight of his day after seeing the wife, of course. I don't think she's
Yeah.
in here, so you can be honest. You can just say highlight of the day. And Sort of Life said, "Me too, Gary. I love this group time, and that right there, just that is
That's
man,
racist
that's good.
for
I love it. Thank you guys for saying all that stuff. I really do enjoy the group, and I'm glad you guys are all there, um, brick by brick, shoulder to shoulder, or whatever, shoulder to shoulder, brick by brick.
Hey,
Um,
however we're
yeah.
doing it
So
here, it's a
you're gonna read a
beautiful
Bible
thing.
verse? You have that in front of you or no?
I got 87 messages.
On what?
It's what it says on TikTok.
Well, you're not gonna read 87 messages. Sorry.
I'm not reading. Oh, it's weird. It said messages, but I think they're just likes and people joined. I don't know.
Okay.
Um, yeah. No, I actually don't. Do you have the verse in front of you?
I do.
When I switched over, I I didn't grab my book. Sorry
Sure.
guys, my grandson is over and he is he's running like it's bright and early in the morning, so I had to transfer rooms so you weren't listening to him. Forgot my Bible.
It's all good. So we had Psalms 51:17, and it says, "The sacrifice you desire is a broken spirit. You will not reject a broken and repentant heart of God." So
I love that. That's a
yes,
perfect example right there. Not to go over the fact that you just read such a beautiful verse, but that's a perfect example of brotherhood right there, right?
absolutely.
Sure, I should have been on top of my game. I should have made sure that when I came in this room, I had my Bible. It was It was something that I wanted to do. It was something that I was excited to read, but I forgot it. But I have a solid brother sitting right beside me that has my
and you
back.
and you took accountability for it not having it. So, but that's what we're here. We're brothers. We're teammates. We
That's
get it
right.
done together. So
That's right.
that's what it's about.
So,
Brick by brick.
yeah, that's right. Shoulder to
So
shoulder.
I just before we wrap this up, I just want to say that this is the first episode I think that we've had where we haven't had any audio or visual
Yeah,
technical glitches.
we're getting
So
we're
we're gonna have
getting
to end it
much
really
better
quickly
with
now
it.
that I said it.
Yeah,
Um,
don't do that. Don't do that.
it's all
I think
good.
the only issue I have is my 95 sign behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's like a glare. It looks like the sun is sitting right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but
I
that's
can.
kind of driving me nuts. But
I can.
I
And
do
it's
actually
backwards.
like being in here a little bit better. I may just transfer. We'll
That's
have to
cool.
see.
Whatever you gotta do.
But yeah, it's nice that our podcasts are getting better. No issues. We got TikTok going now.
It's funny. Joel says barely for that light, and it's funny. It doesn't. I did not notice it until you said it, and now I can't stop
Oh,
staring at it.
mm,
So next time, keep
of
your mouth shut.
course. Yeah, should
Anyway,
have.
so we're that's gonna wrap it up for the day, I think. Right? We have anything else?
No,
All
no.
right. So
But
we will
I
see you
just throw
guys
it out.
tomorrow morning.
That's
Yes?
right.
No? I will see you tomorrow
Yeah.
morning. Maybe as you
No,
over
you
here.
will see
Maybe you
us
won't.
tomorrow morning for coffee and brotherhood because
Coffee and
it's not
conversation and
brother.
brotherhood.
It's not brotherhood if your brother's not showing up.
That's not true. I can
Well,
have a
all right. Look at
every
you
day. I'm
are
part of a brotherhood, even
you.
when I'm by myself.
Yes, you are being well, you're being a solid man on a solid foundation
That's part
and
of a
walking
brotherhood.
with Jesus, and you are part of a brotherhood. And it
Yes,
is a
sir.
solid thing that you will still go on even if I'm not there because you are right. You're absolutely right. But guys, we appreciate like always anybody that watches that hasn't joined or isn't a part of Northman Coaching or Northman Coaching School, but check us out. Check out the TikToks. Check out the Facebook posts. Check out our podcast. Come and check out the school. You get
Check out
7 days
Sessions and Lessons.
free. Yeah,
Check out
check
CE
out
Shuffler.
sessions and lessons. CE
Uh,
Shuffler, absolutely. But check out the Brotherhood. You get 7 days free. You can come in for every single meeting that we have for free and see what each and every one of them was like. Won't cost you anything. If you
seven
don't
days
like
free.
it, if it's not for you, just cancel. But I guarantee you, if you take the time to come to those 4 meetings for free, you'll be subscribing for that measly $26 a month. So come check us out.
Check that. All right, guys.
Everybody, we'll see you
I'm
tomorrow
gonna end
morning.
TikTok first, then we'll get over to here. So everybody,
All
TikTok
right.
world land. Have a good
Have
night.
a good
Thank you very
night,
much for joining us.
TikTok. Absolutely. All right.
All right, I'm gonna end.